with your hosts, Andrew Romanella.
When you play Battle in Mario Kart and you don't turn off any of the items, there are bananas everywhere. I mean, it's like you're losing your balloons because you're slipping on bananas left and right. Bananas everywhere. Yeah, what's going on? Welcome into another edition of The Rome Show here on 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV, channel 217. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. I got you for the next 30 minutes or so. I hope you're following along on YouTube. If you are, comment live so we can get you in on the show. If you're not watching on YouTube, but you still want to comment, get us to social media. The Rome Show 1 on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, whatever social media you follow, we've got you covered. The Rome Show 1. We got a good show for you today. Thursday night football last night ended in some controversy. Games like last night, Rams versus Vikings, are when I realize how good Las Vegas really is at picking lines and scores of football games. It was apparent, better English. Last night, we have to talk about week 8 in the National Football League on Sunday. Big slate of games. Of course, we have to talk officiating because it's the National Football League. And World Series Game 1 starts tonight. Garrett Cole versus Jack Flaherty, who I saw this morning before getting on the air. Apparently, the Dodgers are a little concerned with. So some stuff to talk about there. And then, of course, your daily bananas. So such a good show here on the Rome Show, 12ouncesports.com. Like I said earlier, comment live. You know the drill. We're going to start in the National Football League with the Vikings at the Los Angeles Rams. It was a return of Puka Nacua and the return of Cooper Kupp for the Los Angeles Rams. And boy, did they look like a completely different offense. Here's what went down. The Rams defeated the Vikings 30-20. It was a 14-14 tie at halftime. The Rams won the second half battle 16-6 to take the victory. There was some controversy late in the fourth quarter with a call on Sam Darnold that was not called, which we'll get to in a second. But here are your statistics for the game. Matthew Stafford, 25 of 34. 4 TDs, 1 interception, passer rating of 124.5. I got to tell you, that interception was atrocious. Yeah, it was just a really bad throw, a bad miscommunication, just one of those where you as a quarterback are like, what the hell just happened? And then you move on from it, and that's exactly what Matthew Stafford did. Not a terrible game from Sam Darnold on the other side. 18 of 25. 240 yards and 2 TDs. Sam Darnold playing like a quarterback that deserves to be starting in the National Football League, though the Vikings have now dropped 2 in a row. One last week to the Lions and then this week to the Rams. I don't know the exact stat, but according to what I was researching and seeing and listening to yesterday, all the avenues, teams coming off of a game on a short week playing the Detroit Lions. So the example here would be last week, the Vikings played the Lions, and then they had a short week playing on Thursday. Teams that play the Lions, then play somebody else on a short week are like Owen the Century, because the Lions play such hard, gritty, tough-nosed football that they beat your team up so much that playing the team 5 days later after playing a team like the Lions, it's like almost I'm not going to say guaranteed victory, but now I see why Las Vegas had set this line at -3 Vikings, because the Vikings, tough loss on a Sunday, 31-29 against Detroit last week. Then they had to turn around immediately, fly to California, time change and all, and then play a Lions team, a Rams team that was getting back their two best players in Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. They made their impact felt. Puka Nacua, 7 receptions for 106 yards. Cooper Kupp, 5 receptions for 51 yards and a touchdown. And not only was it a touchdown, it was an elite level play from Matthew Stafford, avoiding a sack and then dropping a scramble play dime into Cooper Kupp. Demarcus Robinson collected 2 touchdown passes for the Rams. On the flip side, Justin Jefferson had 8 receptions for 115 yards. He was 45% of the Vikings passing offense. And I think that is where it's going to become an issue for the Minnesota Vikings long term, is outside of Justin Jefferson and a little bit of Aaron Jones, 19 for 58, no TDs. What are your weapons? Right? I think you have enough for an offense to score between 20 and 27 to 30 every week, but you don't have enough to be unbelievably explosive. And also it's trending like you don't even have enough to be that 25 plus point offense every week, because once you shut down Justin Jefferson, where else are we going with the football? And I think that's got to be the point of contention over this next 10 days or so for the Minnesota Vikings. What are we doing with the football when Justin Jefferson is not the target? Like a lot of these great teams, you even see it on the other side of the field in this game alone. You need 2, 3 dudes. Kyren Williams ran the rock 23 times for 97 yards yesterday. And then Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp accounted for 157 yards. The 3 of them, they're 3-headed monster of most talented players on the team. If you include the 5 receptions on Kyren Williams, touched the ball 40 times for the Los Angeles Rams, and they accounted for over 250 yards. That is what the best players on your team need to be doing. So Justin Jefferson goes for 115. What else? Not a good enough running game for the Vikings, and not a good enough second, third, and fourth options for Sam Darnold. And I thought it reared its ugly head there yesterday. Not to mention, and I hope if you heard the open, it plays pretty true for the National Football League. It looks like battle in Mario Kart. There are flags everywhere. And again, another back and forth good football game, rather than talking about the back and forth good football on a Thursday, which you don't get often in the National Football League. We're talking about another poor call that we believe affected the game, this time via the Minnesota Vikings. So the story is this: the Vikings are looking to drive. They're deep in their own end zone. It's late in the fourth quarter, and Sam Darnold gets sacked. However, it is a blatant, I'm sorry, but blatant face mask, and it is not called. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we got the video up here for you so you can take a look for yourself and see how bad the officiating has been in the National Football League. Take a look at your screen. It's the next angle. It's blatant, right across his face. Watch his helmet and his head. Oh, it almost looks like he breaks his neck. Here it is again, one more time. We're going to play that again for the people. Look at that. We'll slow it down right there. There's the grab. You can see it clear as day. He's ripping the face mask. I mean, in what world? And the best part about it is, okay, so there's Sam Darnold getting mauled to the ground via the face mask. Here's what the officials had to say. The quarterback was facing the opposite direction from me, so I did not have a good look at it, Blake said. That's the main official in this game. I did not see the face mask being pulled, obviously. Umpire Carl Pagnelli had secondary responsibility for this. And he said the umpire had players between him and the quarterback. Oh, this is what the main umpire said about the secondary umpire. So he did not get a good look at it. He was blocked as well. So that was the thing. We did not see it. So we couldn't make the call. Now, here, we're going to go back to it really quickly because I need everybody to look at this right here where I paused this video. You're telling me I can literally see an official on the goal line right now, and that guy can't make this call? That guy right there on the goal line cannot see that Sam Darnold's head is his eyes are going the other direction. The football and his body looks like they're throwing it to the 50-yard line. His head and his eyes looks like he's ordering a hot dog in row 7 of the section behind the end zone. What are we talking about? And then it gets better. It's not a reviewable play. According to the National Football League, as I just put up on your screen right here, we'll continue with the quotes from this egregious non-call. The play is non-reversible according to the NFL rules. And then let's finish with this because I think Kevin O'Connell, Sam Darnold, head coach and quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, had the right response. But I just think at some point, we, the fan, has to stop having this conversation after every single game in the National Football League. And you know what? I might go as far as saying it's not just the National Football League that we're talking about here. We could easily have this conversation with baseball, with basketball. There's so many problems in officiating. And I don't know if it's just because fans and coaches yell at officiating. Because last time I checked, the National Hockey League, in my opinion, has like the greatest set of officials in the history of time. The player-official relationship in the National Hockey League is not just good, it's respectful, and it is professional the way that it should be. And it is very seldom you feel like when you're watching a hockey game, an official in the National Hockey League has screwed your team out of a call. It is seldom, very seldom. Here's what Kevin O'Connell had to say after the game. It looked like he got a pretty good amount of face mask there. I'm not going to get into the call or no call or all that stuff. I talked to our team officiating and all that stuff. For us to talk about that, for us to seek comfort in that is not how we're going to respond to this. It's not going to happen. I'm going to do the same thing right now. I really don't have a comment on that. Looked like he got a piece of face mask, but they didn't think so they didn't throw the flag. Darnold then added, the face mask is what it is. I thought we could have done a lot to not put ourselves in that situation, but that we were in. So we've got to continue to play better and not put ourselves in that position to begin with. I think those are great responses from head coach and quarterback, but I think that the National Football League needs to figure out a way to use replay the appropriate way. Why do we have replay? What is the purpose of this technology if we're not going to use it to make sure the game is officiated appropriately 100% of the time? And I mentioned other sports before. Okay. Let's take baseball, for example. You'll be watching a game and it'll be like, that ball looks like it barely landed foul, but it's in the infield. So plays that are fair foul in the infield, no, you cannot review those. But plays that are fair foul in the outfield, you can review those. What? That arguably could be the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, because the separator between the infield and the outfield is literally grass line like this pencil. 98 feet with dirt, I cannot review. But 99 feet with grass, I can review. See, those right there are the things that piss the fan off. If you always allowed review of things, hey, you get 2 challenges. You can review any freaking thing on the field. If you get that challenge wrong, you lose. If you get the second challenge, you have no challenges left. If you get both challenges right, awesome. That's it. Your challenges are done. You only get 2. Bam. I think we just solved the issue. You get 2 challenges all game. You can challenge anything across the board. Let's roll. Now, if I'm the Vikings, I challenge this no call. They call it a flag. It's like, oh my God, you're right. That's egregious. How the definition of face mask is to make sure that you don't decapitate a player on the field. That guy's getting decapitated. We should throw a flag and we should make this 15 yards. I just don't understand how that is not logically being used in every pro sports league right now. So again, another day, another Rome show here on 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV channel 217, and another bad call from an official in the National Football League. So it still reigns true. 76 to 70% of the time watching a National Football League game, you are watching play, then looking at bottom saying, was there a flag? Was there not a flag? Let's find out. That is your days watching football. Hope you enjoy your days every day with us on the Rome Show. If you missed any part of the show, we have a podcast, the Rome Show podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, or our wonderful sponsors at 12ozsports.com. That's the number 12ozsports.com are always replaying our stuff. You could just head there. You could go to youtube.com/12ozsports and you could watch the replay there. So much for you to listen to, even if you just tuned into the show 37 seconds ago. I need you to stay for the next 2 minutes, though, because we're going to hit a quick commercial break. We're going to come back. World Series game number 1, Garrett Cole versus Jake Flaherty, and around the NFL Week 8. So exciting. We got a good Sunday slate of football and our daily picks. The Rome Show, 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV channel 217.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right. At 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Yeah! The Rome Show, 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV channel 217. We just ran through all the places to find us. The social media is The Rome Show 1. We have a great time. We're here every morning at 7 a.m. I hope you join us. I got the World Series on dock for you right now. The New York Yankees of the Bronx, New York, will take on the Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles, California, tonight in Los Angeles. Chavez Ravine, 8:08 p.m. The channel is Fox. The starting pitchers are Garrett Cole and Jack Flaherty. Let's give you a rundown of the two. Garrett Cole in the postseason has a 3.31 ERA and 16 innings pitched. He's got 12 Ks to 6 walks, and he's got a 1-0 record. Jack Flaherty, on the other hand, is 1-2. He's thrown 15 innings, has a 7 ERA, and has 8 Ks to 7 walks. It seems like the Dodgers have a little bit of concern here with Jack Flaherty's velo, which is why they believe he's been getting hit around a little bit this postseason. I would give, right off the jump, I would give the advantage in game number 1 to the Yankees. And I think this is why when somebody gets hurt, especially early on in a season, it is super important for fans to put perspective on baseball. Okay. The season starts essentially April 1st. Okay. The season ends essentially October 1st. That is 6 clean months of baseball. So now you take the Garrett Cole situation. The Yankees are all excited. Everybody believes they have a chance to win this year. They have a great roster headlined by Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. You have a great pitching rotation, you believe, headlined by Garrett Cole. There's a lot of excitement in the Bronx leading into the season. Then Garrett Cole gets hurt. And it changes the feeling of all of these Yankees fans. And I wish we could go back to that time in late May, early June, when it was a lot of what are the Yankees? It was a lot of, is this team good enough? It was a lot of maybe we should fire Aaron Judge. Aaron Boone, right? It was a lot of that over, we believe this team can win a World Series. Then Garrett Cole comes back, and he maybe brought him back too early. His velo doesn't look like it's up. Is Garrett Cole fully healthy? Is this version of Garrett Cole going to be good enough to win in the postseason? And then 2.5 months goes by, and all of a sudden, you're sitting here getting ready for the World Series. There's no doubt in your mind that the Yankees shouldn't have not been there, especially once the postseason started. And now the same Garrett Cole that was injured, the same Garrett Cole that didn't look the same when he came back from injury, might possibly be Garrett Cole we've looked for all year. Garrett Cole, Cy Young Award winner. Garrett Cole, #1 ace, not in just the Yankees franchise, but Major League Baseball. And all of a sudden, 7 months goes by, and it's exactly where you expected it to be. That is Major League Baseball, ladies and gentlemen. That is why screaming and yelling in the middle of June is actually a waste of time. The Mets fan learned that this year. And the Yankees fan, I feel like, learns it every year because the team's always in the postseason. But this year, more than ever, did the Yankees feel like a normal baseball franchise. Not insanely dominating, good enough to be fighting for first place the entire year, handled injuries, but kind of didn't. They weren't 7 games over 500 the entirety of every time they lost somebody. Had some up and downs, and bam, find their way to the World Series. And you say to yourself, it's exactly what we expected it to be. It doesn't matter how the Yankees got there. And even on the flip side, how the Dodgers got there, it's exactly what we expected it to be. So game 1 tonight, 8:08 p.m. I think in this entire series, the Dodgers and the Yankees offense are what's going to lead the charge for both teams. I think it comes down to this. Who can manage their pitching better? Is it Dave Roberts, who's already been working off the system of like bullpen days and guys not being true traditional starters going 6 or 7? Or is it Aaron Boone, who has some good starters, one being Nestor Cortez, who might be dealing with an injury, but has one of the best bullpens in the league? Who manages pitching better? Whatever pitching staff shows up more in this series is going to win this series. Both offenses are primed to dominate. Both offenses, arguably, could be the best offenses in the league. So it's going to come down to pitching in this series. I'm picking the Yankees in 7. That's just a fact. Okay. Or an opinion, excuse me. My basis off of that is Simply my trust in the deeper part of the game for the Yankees and the depth in the throwing of the baseball on the hill. That's the bottom line. Pitching depth wins, in my opinion, and I think the Yankees are also playing really good defense right now. So give me the Yankees in 7. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. The Rome Show 1. Any social media or comments on the show. We're going to throw some music on right here. We're going to go through week 8 of the National Football League calendar. All right. We're starting off in Miami with the Cardinals at the Dolphins. According to reports, Tua Tagovailoa is going to start in this game. I don't think it makes a difference for the Dolphins, unfortunately. Do I think it makes a difference maybe long-term if he stays healthy? Yes, but in terms of this week, no. So I'll take the Cardinals. The Dolphins are favored by -4 here, so just give me the Cardinals at the +4. Over-under is 45.5. I'm iffy with that number. I would stay away from it because it's so much uncertainty. 1, in just how the Cardinals play, and 2, what the offense looks like for the Dolphins. The Eagles travel to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. The Bengals are favored by this game -3. It's essentially a pick 'em. The Eagles are a very inconsistent team. We've talked about them being better and playing more up to their standard. I don't know if they're going to do it in Cincy, who's streaking a little bit, 3 of their last 4. The connection between Burrow and Chase looks really good. I'm going to take the home team Bengals here, and I'm going to take them at the -3. Ravens at the Browns. Browns are starting Jameis Winston. I give them no shot to win this game. The Baltimore Ravens are favored by 8.5 on the road. That's a big freaking number on the road, and I'm going to take it. Give me the Ravens. Give me them at the 8.5. I just don't believe in the Browns, especially with a backup quarterback. Now, that backup quarterback is Jameis Winston, 2nd overall pick or something like that in the draft that he got picked in, has started a lot of games, threw 50 touchdowns in one season, also threw 50 interceptions, but clearly can throw the rock. But I just think the Ravens are that much better. 5-game winning streak. Titans at Lions. Give me the Lions. They're favored by 12. Yes, I'll take them. I'll take the Lions by the 12. The total here is 44.5. It might go over that because the Lions score 33. But either way, give me the Lions minus the 12. Jets at Patriots. I'll take the Jets. Jets are favored by 7. I will not take that number. I don't trust them that much. Give me the Pats plus the 7 with the Jets on the money line. Falcons at Buccaneers. This is a really tough game. I told you the other day, NFC South really beats itself up. I'm going to take the Buccaneers because they are underdogs at home, and I just believe in Baker Mayfield and the underdog status, regardless of if Mike Evans and any of those dudes are out. Atlanta's favored by 2.5. Give me the Bucs plus the 2.5. Packers at Jags. I got the Pack. Go, Pack, go. They're favored by 4. Give me them with the -4. I got the Colts at Texans. Texans favored by 5. Give me the Texans at the -5. Saints at Chargers. This is an interesting one because the Saints are losers of 5 straight, but the Chargers, this is a prime game for the Chargers to lose. They're 3-3. They're favored by 7. And in the history of the Los Angeles Chargers franchise, they would find a way to lose this game. So to pick them at the -7 is very tough. So I'm actually going to take the Saints at the +7. But if you want me to take a straight up in this game, I would take the Chargers as winning the game. So Saints plus the 7, Chargers, my money line. The over-under in this game is 40.5. I would take the under. Again, it just has the makings of some type of crappy football Sunday at 4:05, and you're like, how are the Chargers losing to the Saints? I don't know, but they did, and that might happen. Bills at Seahawks. This is a tough one, too, because going to Seattle is hard to begin with, but if the Giants are good enough to beat the Seahawks on the road, I think the Bills are, even though I'm not fully sold on the Bills. So give me the Bills at the -3. Panthers at Broncos. I'll take the Broncos. Now, they're favored by 10, but Bryce Young is starting again for the Panthers because Andy Dalton's out. So I'll take the Denver Broncos, and I'll take them at the -10 because of that. Chiefs at Raiders. Give me the Chiefs. They're -9.5 point favorites in Las Vegas. It's a dome, so there's no weather factor, and the Vegas Raiders don't even know who they're starting at quarterback. So give me the Chiefs minus the 9.5. Bears at Commanders. The Bears are favored in this game. by -3. This might be my lock of the week. Give me the Commanders at minus. I want the Commanders with the points at home. Also, the score in this game is supposed to be under 43.5. Give me the over on that. Now, like I said to you earlier, for some reason, I learn all the time why Vegas is Vegas. But right now, I think this could be the one I get Vegas on. So +3 Commanders over 43.5. And then finally, Sunday Night Football, we have the Cowboys at the 49ers. We are going to take the 49ers here. They're favored by 4.5. Why am I taking them at the 4.5? Because I trust them more than the Cowboys. I trust neither team at all right now. But if I had to take one, I'll take the Niners at home minus the 4.5. That's your Week 8 slate in the National Football League. You know what music's playing right now. That's Daily Bananas. That's right. And yesterday I went 2-1. I had Justin Jefferson over the 84.5 receiving yards. I had Kyron Williams over the 92.5 receiving/rushing, but I had Minnesota at -3, which they were not. They lost by 8 points. So I am 121-97 right now, I believe is the official score. No, 123-98. Go me. Here are your picks for tonight. We're going to go to college football tonight, okay? And we are going to do the Boise State, I read that backwards. The Boise State rushing attack versus UNLV running Rebels. I got Boise State, number 1 rushing team in the land. UNLV, number 15 rush defense in the land. The points in this game is over 64.5. I'm going to take it. So give me the over in Friday night college football tonight, 64.5. Then switch me over to the World Series. I'm going to take, even though I talked about this earlier, I'm going to take the Yankees on the money line, but I'm going to keep the score under the 8.5, even though I talked about the offenses being the strengths on both of these teams. Then give me Mookie Betts with a hit. So just to finish that, UNLV versus Boise State, over 64.5 points. Yankees, money line. Dodgers versus Yankees, under 8.5 runs. And Mookie Betts records a hit. That's going to make you some money in your Daily Bananas. I hopefully brought you some good entertainment for 33 minutes today. The Rome Show, 12ouncesports.com, Dingo TV, channel 217, back every day at 7 a.m. We'll see you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Be electric. Peace!
Thank you for listening.